Hey, welcome back guys. You're watching M&S IT Technology. Today we are starting with VTP topic. Before discussing VTP, it is important to understand that VTP is not necessary in order to configure VLANs or trunking on Cisco switches. VTP is a Cisco proprietary protocol that allows VLAN configuration to be consistently maintained across a common administrative domain. VTP minimizes the possible configuration inconsistencies that arise when changes are made. Additionally, VTP reduces the complexity of managing and monitoring VLAN networks, allowing changes on one switch to be propagated to other switches via VTP. On most Cisco switches, VTP is running and has certain defaults already configured. VTP Operation Revision Number. VTP advertisements are transmitted out all trunk connections, including ISL, IEEE 802.1q, IEEE 802.10, and ATMLA in trunks. A critical parameter governing VTP function is the VTP Configuration Revision Number. This 32-bit number indicates the particular revision of a VTP configuration. A configuration revision number starts at 0 and increments by 1 with each modification until it reaches 4,294,927,295, at which point it recycles back to 0 and starts incrementing again. Each VTP device tracks its own VTP configuration revision number. VTP packets contain the sender's VTP configuration number. This information determines whether the received information is more recent than the current version. If the switch receives the VTP advertisement over a trunk link, it inherits the VTP domain name and configuration revision number. The switch ignores advertisements that have a different VTP domain name or an earlier configuration revision number. VTP clients. VTP clients cannot create, modify, or delete VLAN information. The only role of VTP clients is to process VLAN changes and send VTP messages out all trunk ports. The VTP client maintains a full list of all VLANs within the VTP domain, but it does not store the information in VRAM. VTP clients behave the same way as VTP servers, but it is not possible to create, change, or delete VLANs on a VTP client. Any changes made must be received from a VTP server advertisement. VTP Transparent Mode. Switches in VTP Transparent Mode forward VTP advertisements but ignore information contained in the message. A transparent switch will not modify its database when updates are received, nor will the switch send out an update indicating a change in its own VLAN status. Except for forwarding VTP advertisements, VTP is disabled on a transparent switch. There is also an off VTP mode in which switches behave the same as in the VTP transparent mode, except VTP advertisements are not forwarded. VTP configuration. VTP can be configured by using these configuration modes. VTP configuration in global configuration mode. VTP configuration in VLAN configuration mode. VTP configuration, version. Two different versions of VTP can run in the management domain, VTP version 1 and VTP version 2. The two versions are not interoperable in the same VTP domain. The major difference between the two versions is version 2 introduces support for token ring VLANs. If all switches in a VTP domain can run VTP version 2 only needs to be enabled on one VTP server switch. The version number is propagated to the other VTP version 2 capable switches in the VTP domain. Version 2 should not be enabled unless every switch in the VTP domain supports version 2. VTP configuration, domain and password. The domain name can be between 1 and 32 characters. The optional password must be between 8 and 64 characters long. If the switch being installed is the first switch in the network, the management domain will need to be created. However, if the network has other switches running VTP, then the new switch will join an existing management domain. Caution: the domain name and password are case sensitive. VTP configuration, domain and password. By default, management domains are set to a non-secure mode, meaning that the switches interact without using a password. Adding a password automatically sets the management domain to secure mode. The same password must be configured on every switch in the management domain to use secure mode. VTP Configuration Overview. VTP configuration in global configuration mode. VTP operation. VTP switches operate in one of three modes: server, client, transparent. VTP servers can create, modify, delete VLAN and VLAN configuration parameters for the entire domain. VTP servers save VLAN configuration information in the switch environment. VTP servers send VTP messages out to all trunk ports. Verifying VTP. Show VTP status. This command is used to verify VTP configuration settings on a Cisco IOS command-based switch. Adding a switch to an existing VTP domain. Use caution when inserting a new switch into an existing domain. In order to prepare a switch to enter an existing VTP domain, perform the following steps. Delete the VLAN database, erase the startup configuration, and power cycle the switch. This will avoid potential problems resulting from residual VLAN configurations or adding a switch with a higher VTP configuration revision number that could result in the propagation of incorrect VLAN information. From the privileged mode, issue the delete VLAN.dat and erase startup config commands, then reboot the switch. 3 types of VTP messages you can find below. Thank you guys. Please like, subscribe and share if you like our channel.